So welcome to CapTech's trends conversation for the year. Vinnie, why don't you start us off with a little bit of how we actually come up with our trends?
Sure. It's something we do every year. A lot of times it's focused on new technology or innovation or even business trends we're observing at our clients, and that can span more than a dozen different industries. So we look at patterns that exist across those different industries, and then we combine it with good engineering discipline and rigor to make sure that the design patterns make sense so that we're not just chasing trends, but that we're vetting them. It's as important to know what not to go after as it is to what to follow and what to chase.
And so we interview a statistically significant part of the U.S. population, and we ask about those things that are really important to them that year, and then that factors in alongside the client data. So our theme for 2024 is intelligent experiences. And what we mean by that is an experience that uses AI, that uses data, that uses advanced technology, and it's really crafting and refining and optimizing the customer journey. So there's three elements that we feel like are really the drivers for an intelligent experience. That's a data-rich foundation, the innovation enablers, and the customer-first philosophy. So we'll dive into each of those in more detail today.
So data-rich foundations, as the name implies, the big aspect of this is really how you're organizing, how you're really representing the data in your organization. And what we've seen is the shift from just the collection and storage of data to really how you really promote and drive data-driven insights with the information that you have. The idea is to put that information in business leaders' hands so that they can make the decisions that are necessary and where they need to invest. The second aspect of this is around cloud acceleration. And we've been over the last decade been on a journey with ourselves as well as all of our clients on how to best utilize and manage our resources in the cloud. The philosophy change of really just taking things and migrating it to the cloud and shifting that to a mindset of really designing with a specific intent of the cloud is where we're seeing a lot of focus. The third aspect of really data-rich foundations really builds on those last two. So we've got the data that we're collecting and transforming into driven insights. We've got a cloud that allows us to really accelerate our delivery. It's really taking the mindset of more product-centric approach to delivery, both from the ideation phase of coming up with new ideas, all the way through the iterative design and development processes, so that we can then take feedback from our clients in that particular scenario, their customers, to really drive new innovations, new evolution of those particular products. So those are the three big aspects of data-rich foundations, but I know one of the things that we always consider is how do we come up with the ideas that drive those products?
Right. And the first is understanding your business. It really comes down to understanding your client needs and how to address them. So what we recommend is putting a mature framework around that. It's not good enough anymore to do a hackathon once a year or to have 25 people in an innovation lab off on their own island. This has to be something that is part of your ideation process for the big things you're going to do throughout the next 3 to 5 years. So use AI to help flesh out your ideas, to challenge your ideas, to build on them. Use it to create personas from the data that you do have, test cases, code fragments. Have it become part of how you innovate so that you know how better to innovate for your clients as well. Don't just do the technical proof of concept. Do it with a strong eye to that intelligent experience and the user in mind, because demonstrating something in a text output versus showing what an experience can be. It's the picture's 1,000 words thing, right? If you're going to do it, involve CX from the beginning and make it look and behave the way you would want your clients to experience it. And that's going to not only sell more internally, but it's going to drive your creative process much more also.
On the customer side, as we think about that, I think about how intelligent experiences connects to a customer-first philosophy. And to me, I think through the intelligence really being thinking for the customer, right? In the sense that you're anticipating that customer's actions, the steps that they're going to take throughout an experience, and you're making that smoother for them. So there are a couple of things I think that contribute to that. We talked about the data being at the center of this, and that's the first piece. So the data on the customer side, it's really important to have the foundation in place, and then that drives what we call the customer 360 strategy. And what that means is we understand that customer in the sense that we have a full and complete picture around them. So we use the data we have to build those rich insights, to have that full profile, to understand where they are, who they're interacting with, the context around those interactions, and again, be able to anticipate those next steps and understand where those opportunities are to engage with those customers. And then the second thing is around the things you talked about earlier. It's how do we make this easier for them? So we're calling those frictionless built-ins as we think about how they apply to trends, but it's really these enablers. So the first one is conversational technology. So we talked about AI. This is AI-powered chatbots that are able to highly personalize recommendations, anticipate sentiment, right, which is a huge part of this, and be able to give a customer what they need very quickly. And we always talk about the business benefit of these things too. That's obviously there's going to be a lot of operational efficiency that comes from that as well. The other things we think about when we think about these frictionless built-ins are the things that you probably experience, all of us, right, in our day-to-day lives when we're making a purchase or interacting with a product. So thinking about two-click checkout, thinking about facial recognition, and things like passkeys. So these are things that make an experience not only easier for you, takes away the pain, they're faster, and they're safer, which is a huge part of this. So we understand that those things are all very important to customers, which is why we've lumped them into this customer first category. But we hear that from customers year over year, that these are values that are very important to them through our consumer survey.
More than 30% of respondents to the survey found that their companies, their brands that they interface with, they interface with them primarily because they did use AI to drive more personalized experiences.
So to get a third acceptance rate, I think in a time period that's so quick, shows that customers really are seeing the benefit of that in a quick period of time. And that only gives me a lot of excitement for the future to think about what's going to come after that if we're already seeing acceptance that quickly.
So each of these three we talked about today, the data-rich foundations, the innovation enablers that Vinnie, you referred to, and then all of them contributing to a more customer-first philosophy for how we interface with them, with customers. All these contribute to this idea of intelligent experiences. And these aren't intelligent experiences that we're desiring to create. It's really intelligent experiences that consumers are starting to expect. And that's a big part of really what we're seeing this year.